Welcome to today's explainer. So picture this. You're sitting right there in the interview chair. You've absolutely nailed your experience, you've smoothly handled the dreaded salary expectations, and you've perfectly articulated exactly why you are a great fit for the role. I mean, everything is going incredibly well. But then, the interviewer leans in, smiles, and drops that one specific anxiety-inducing question that brings the entire conversation to a screeching, awkward halt. You can practically hear a pin drop in the room, and maybe you even start sweating through your shirt just a little bit. Well, today, we're going to break down exactly how to handle that exact moment. Okay, let's just quickly look at our roadmap for today. We'll be covering 1, the trap question, 2, the recruiter's mindset, 3, the SMART formula, 4, common mistakes, 5, real-world examples, and 6, the AI advantage. By the end of this, we'll have completely reframed this question and given you a structured framework to just nail it every single time. All right, part 1, the trap question. Why candidates fail? What are your strengths and weaknesses? You know, it sounds incredibly simple, doesn't it? Yet this exact question literally eliminates thousands of highly qualified candidates every single year. It is the ultimate stumbling block. Look, we've all panicked when we hear it. And honestly, many of us have considered throwing out one of these classic, totally cliche responses. You might think about saying, "Oh, I'm a perfectionist." Or maybe boldly claiming, "I actually don't have any weaknesses." Or you might swing to the total opposite extreme and just start listing out every personal flaw imaginable. But here's the reality. None of these actually impress recruiters. In fact, they do the exact opposite. Moving on to section 2, the recruiter's mindset, what they really want. Now, what's really fascinating here is the recruiter's actual mindset, because believe it or not, they aren't actually trying to trap you. When they ask about your strengths and weaknesses, they're really using it as a diagnostic tool. They are evaluating 6 crucial qualities: your self-awareness, honesty, emotional maturity, problem-solving ability, growth mindset, and your coachability. They basically just want to see if you can recognize your own flaws, and more importantly, whether you actively work to improve them.
And that brings us to a really foundational truth. Companies don't hire perfect people. They hire people who learn. So the big takeaway here is that in today's super fast-paced, AI-driven workplace, proving you have a capacity for continuous learning is way, way more valuable to a hiring manager than pretending you already know absolutely everything. Which leads us to section 3, the S.M.A.R.T formula, a repeatable strategy. So instead of memorizing some rigid script that makes you sound totally robotic, we're going to use a really effective mnemonic device to structure your perfect answer. It's the S.M.A.R.T formula, and it stands for strength, match, achievement, real weakness, and transformation. Let's break this down and see how it builds step by step, starting with the very first letter. First up, we have S for strength. The absolute key here is focus. You want to mention just one powerful skill that directly relates to the job description. Please do not list 5 random strengths. For example, if you're in IT, you might simply start off with, "I'm good at solving technical problems," right? It's clear, it's direct, and it sets the stage perfectly. Next is M for match. Now, you can't just drop a strength and leave it hanging there. You really have to explain why this specific strength matters for the company. You've got to connect it to actual business value. So you build on your previous statement by adding something like, "This allows me to resolve customer issues quickly and reduce downtime." Boom. Now the recruiter hears exactly how your skill benefits their bottom line. All right, the third step is A for achievement. Look, anyone can claim they're great at something, but you need to back it up. You have to support your claim's strength with factual evidence, because facts are always stronger than opinions. So you provide hard evidence, like, "In my previous company, I helped reduce IT support response time by 30% after improving our ticket prioritization process." See what happened there? You just locked in your strength with undeniable proof. Now for the tricky part, R for real weakness. You need to pick one genuine flaw that's believable, but, and this is absolutely vital, it shouldn't be a core requirement for the job you're applying for. You just shift gears honestly by saying something like, "I used to feel nervous speaking during large meetings." It's super relatable, it shows great self-awareness, but it doesn't immediately disqualify you. And finally, T for transformation. Honestly, this is where you win the interview. You never leave a weakness hanging out there unresolved. Always explain the active steps you are taking to improve. So you end on a high note by saying, "I started volunteering for presentations, I joined communication workshops, and now I confidently present project updates." Recruiters absolutely love a good story of improvement. All right, section 4, common mistakes. What not to do. These are the pitfalls you absolutely have to avoid. First, claiming you have no weaknesses. That just shows a total lack of self-awareness. Claiming perfectionism is a massive cliche that frankly sounds overly rehearsed. Revealing a critical job flaw, like say applying for customer service and saying you hate talking to people, yeah, that creates immediate red flags. And finally, talking too long just shows a lack of concise communication. You really want to keep your total S.M.A.R.T answer crisp. Aim for around 1 to 2 minutes total, tops.
Moving on to section 5, real-world examples, the formula in action.
Let's actually see this in action for someone just starting out. A college fresher can really leverage their youth by focusing on learning quickly, maybe specifically mentioning modern AI tools. And when they pivot to their weakness of public speaking, notice how they don't end on a negative note. Instead, they showcase their initiative to participate in seminars, which shows they're actively preparing themselves for the future workplace. Now, let's jump over to a seasoned IT professional. Their strength here is deep and totally value-driven, finding permanent solutions. Their weakness is incredibly common for high performers, which is failing to delegate. But look closely at the transformation. They realize that trusting their teammates actually improves overall productivity. This kind of answer perfectly balances professional, technical competence with real emotional maturity and team awareness. And for our third example, let's look at a digital marketer. Their strength is data-driven strategy. But what's really clever here is their weakness, spending way too much time on manual reporting. They weave their transformation right into the current tech landscape by stating they went out and learned automation tools to solve this issue. By doing this, they're proving to the recruiter that they continuously upgrade their own skills to stay highly efficient.
All right, section 6, the AI advantage. Practice makes perfect.
You know, you have a massive advantage today that previous generations of job seekers simply didn't have, and that is artificial intelligence. You can actually use this to pressure test your answer before you ever even step foot in the interview room. Just follow these quick steps. Step 1, prompt an AI to act as an HR manager. Step 2, type in your drafted S.M.A.R.T answer and ask it to evaluate you. Step 3, ask it to point out what sounds weak and suggest a stronger, more concise version. Now, AI won't replace your actual prep work, but running this simple loop a few times, it will dramatically sharpen your delivery and really boost your confidence. Let's wrap up with a final thought. Recruiters do not expect perfection. They expect progress. They really just want professionals who can adapt, learn continuously, and own their own development. If you use the S.M.A.R.T formula, you're showing them you are fully committed to growth, and you will absolutely leave a lasting impression every single time. So I'll leave you with this to think about. The next time you sit across from a hiring manager, are you going to waste your energy trying to sound flawless, or will you seize the opportunity to show them exactly how you grow?